Hi everyone, it is time for another picture from this lovely page by Agotapop from her December Tinies on Shelves, and I'm using Chromaflow pencils again. I'm going to be using them for the whole of this page. I am coming in closer to have a little look at our next image. So let's have a look. Well, we have some sort of cake, I'm thinking, with this sort of drizzle on. It looks like we have cream and all sorts of bits and pieces going on. I think I'm going to start with the holly because I know what colour that should be. I am thinking I want to do it in the basil colour, which is a darkish green. I'm just going to sharpen it. Go. So here it is, basil, and what I'm going to do is hold the page down, is just colour it all really lightly to start with, and then I will come back and think about where I want it to be darker and lighter. And it's very difficult to lighten something once you've started colouring it, so that's why I'm only putting a really gentle layer on. And then some of the areas that I want to be light won't have any more colour on than this. Ooh, it's a bit messy. It'll get tidied up as I come back and work through it all. So I hope everyone's doing well. I've had quite an interesting morning already. Made these top 3 videos this morning first thing. And now it is after lunch and I've come back to do some more. So what I'm trying to do is make this bit dark down here and then sort of fade towards the tip there. Now, how should we colour these? I think I'm going to make this bottom edge a little bit darker here, because I think maybe it's sort of pointing downwards and in the shadow. Yeah, so I got the videos made, which was nice, and then went off. My son had a hospital appointment just to check. It was nothing, all was fine, so that was good. And I had a nice chat with his nurse, actually, she's lovely, and all good. So but spent quite a lot of time travelling, as you tend to do. We don't live in a town with a very big hospital. We have one which is lucky, but not particularly large, so we have to go to a different one for sort of consultancy appointments, I suppose it would be considered to be, but it was all good. And my husband was home, so he took us. He had a bit of a panic because we were running a bit late, well, later than he thought. We ended up getting there 15 minutes early, but and it was actually when we got back to the car, he had parked quite near to the edge of the parking bay, and the person next to him parked on the edge of theirs, so there was no room for him to even shimmy down the side of the car to get into his seat, so we had to get in the passenger side and then try and move over, but there's a sort of raised console in between the 2 seats, so it's a bit of a challenge for him, for someone who isn't really very flexible. He's never been, and his mother wasn't either. I think sometimes some of these things are how we are built, you know. Like him, he's never been able to touch his toes, and I remember watching his mother try and thinking, actually, it really looks like you are bending as far as you can, and just that your arms are proportionately, don't seem to be long enough compared to the length of your back or legs. It just was quite interesting. So what I've done here is I've just gone darker around the edges and a bit lighter in the middle. I don't know why. I found that quite fun. Now what we could do is put another colour in the centre just to green them up, if you know what I mean, rather than they look a bit white in the middle. So I'm going to grab the spring bud colour, if I can find it. There it is. This is a yellowish green, but and light, look, but it isn't really yellow. I think it'll work, but we'll see. So just put it over the whole thing so that it sort of blends it all together. but then we still get this impression that this bit is lighter because it's got more of this lighter colour on it, but we don't see the white, which I didn't want to see really. It looks quite yellowy, which isn't what I wanted, but I think it's okay. We'll see how it looks with the rest when we've done the berries, for example. There we go. So I'm going to do the berries next. I'm going to use the cardinal red for these. I'm just trying to use a few different colours as I do, you know, because we've used a few reds already. I've used different reds. You can, if you haven't got such a big range of reds, it doesn't really matter which red you use. As I said, I'm just trying to vary it a little bit. So for my berries, I go around the edge first and put a fairly thick layer down, and then as I come towards the middle and circle round, I put less layers down, pressing less hard. I don't press hard, but I press pretty gently towards the middle like that. Then I'm going to go back round the edge, put more down. Yeah, my one son said while we were out, he managed to write 600 words, so that was good. And my other boy is actually was putting together some equipment for something that he needs, which we'd ordered from last week, but last weekend was a bit too busy to have time to sort through it, so he's having a little look at that. He's cleaned down the kitchen counter, the breakfast bar actually, and he's laying it out on there. I suggested to him he do that because there's lots of room. There was nothing on there apart from my crossword which he moved off. There we go. I think that works now with that green. I think because I've picked a more orangey red, it works I think with the yellowy colour. We do have our mistletoe to colour though. I'm looking again at the colours. I am thinking the foliage might be quite a nice colour for mistletoe. Oops, sorry, I'm knocking the page with my sleeve again like I did earlier. There we go. So here we have, whoops, a foliage. And I think I'm going to make it a little bit more intense down at the bottom and then fade it up towards the tip. I love this colour. I think this is my favourite colour in the whole set. And what's great about the Chromaflows is you can buy them open stock, so if one of them gets used up you can just buy a replacement. But I've actually got another one of these from my 24 set, although it might be 48 set. I mean, yeah, I haven't got it in here. I've kept it in the tin so that if I wanted a portable set I could use the smaller set. It's quite good, isn't it? Now we have this icing and hearts and things. I think I'm going to avoid that at the moment. I don't know what to do with that, so I'm going to do the cake itself. I'm just having a little peer at my colours. I think I'm going to grab the peach sand to start with, but I don't think it's going to quite be dark enough, so I may have to put something on top. But I'm just going to start with this. So here it is, peach sand. And see, I'm not sure what's supposed to be going on this bottom tier of cake, because this one's got little lines like it is this actual sponge, whereas down here we've got dots as if this bit's got some sort of fondant on it. And I think this bit in the middle is cream. So I'm not sure, and I'm trying to think of, you know, Christmas cakes don't normally look like this. What I think I'm going to do is colour this the same and make these dots like raisins, because Christmas cakes normally have fruit in. The ones, and even a panettone, which maybe that's what this is, but they don't have a layer of cream. So I'm not sure. Looks nice. We'll just make it look tasty. And then it doesn't matter what it is. See, this is a bit pale, I think, for a cake, so I'm going to run over it with my car. No. Colour over it with the brown sugar colour. Now this for me might have been a little dark, but I'm going to put a very light layer on top of the peach sand, and I'm hoping it will give me the colour that I want. This is where layering up and combining colours can be useful if you don't have the one that you want. I know some people find it a little bit tricky, or they're not quite sure what to do, but you can experiment on scrap paper. But I could sort of imagine what this was going to look like. I can't visualise in my head or anything, but I could just got the idea that it would work. I don't know, maybe it's just down to experience, or maybe I'm just kidding myself and I just take a risk and it works. I just don't know really. So I'm trying to think of these icing colours. You know, if I was doing Christmas icing, what would I do? Well, I'd probably do white. Christmas cakes are traditionally white, but these hearts, that's not traditional. This cream isn't, and these things. So I'm thinking hard. I might do the hearts in red. I know. Yeah, do the hearts in red. We'll use a slightly different shade of red to what we use for the berries. Or shall we? Or should we keep it the same? I think I'm going to keep it the same, and I might end up going over these with the glitter anyway. So let's use the cardinal red on our hearts. I'm just sort of doing it to help me imagine, if you know what I mean. Now I've decided that I'm going to make this drizzle a custard colour. I think that would be nice. It could be a thick cold custard. Delicious. So what I think the butterscotch is a good custard colour. I'll try and find it. There it is. It might be a little bit too yellow, but it's the colour of custard. I'm going to use it gently. Or it could, there's another name for custard. Is it creme anglaise? I'm not sure. Is that slightly different? I don't know. Anyway, this looks a little bit orangey, really, but I don't make custard anymore. But I used to make it with the instant custard, you know, with this sort of vanilla flavoured corn flour, and oh, it's yum. I used to make it really, really thick, so thick that you could barely stir it when it was hot, and then put it in the fridge so it went really hard. It's like you could almost cut it with a knife, my parents would say. Delicious. I'm going to colour it in the other direction because it's a bit scruffy. There we go. I think I want to put a bit of yellow on that. It's just not looking how I thought it would somehow from my swatch chart. I am going to use, I want a bright colour. I think the sunflower might work. Here it is. So I'm just going to use this on top. Again, keeping it gentle to start with. Oh, that's better. Yeah, that's perfect. Happy with that, very happy with that. Now let's think. We've got custard, we've got cake, we're going to have sultanas in the bottom. I think maybe that's not right. Maybe chocolate chips, maybe a chocolate cream. Would that work? I think it would. Actually the same colour as sultana, so you can choose what they are. Just trying to make it as even as I can. I find yellows so difficult to work with and to get even. There we go. Now the cream in the cake, I want it to just be like a cream colour really. We did that above, didn't we? Maybe it's going to be, or is it going to be chocolate? Let's do our chocolate chips with, let's make them really dark. Let's use the coffee bean colour. Excuse me. Just trying to, doesn't want to go on very well. I guess it's because I'm trying to colour on top of a lighter pencil. Now I'm thinking if I make this into chocolate buttercream, I think the biscotti is quite a good colour. It might be a little bit too grey, but I'm going to give it a go. Yeah, maybe it is. Go over it with something. I think we could go over it actually with the coffee bean, but just really gently. We can always layer up if it's a bit too pale, but we can't do the opposite and take colour away so easily. It's possible, but it's not easy. Now I think I'm going to use this coffee bean for these dots at the bottom. It does need a sharpen though. I'm trying to think of what to do with these circles and how to incorporate a little bit of metallic pen, and whether I need to do both. I'm just putting a bit of shadow under this cream. This drizzle, I mean. This is still the coffee bean colour, by the way. See, I'm in two minds. Do I do them, the circles? Do I do them just in gold and silver pen, or do I need to do something a bit different? I'm trying to think and colour at the same time. It's hard work. There's that bit done. I think, yeah, I am going to do gold and silver balls, every other one metallic, but I'm going to use a bit of red metallic on these hearts first. Now I always get a bit confused as to which is the red, so I need some scrap paper. Oh, I've got a little scrap paper there, good. It's actually my Christmas shopping list, but is that red? I think so. Yeah. Okay, so this is the red. I'm using 519. I think it's the red. I might just end up going around the edge, not doing the whole thing. Just giving it a bit of a shine. What I'm also going to do is use my white to do some reflection on my berries. Like that. And then my gold and silver, I'm just going to go alternate, I think. Or is it... Oh, it's symmetrical with small and large. So I'm going to do the gold ones with the smaller ones. I expect you can get edible gold balls like you can with silver. I'm sort of assuming you can. I ran one of these pens out yesterday. did a gold background on something. You'll see it eventually. This is the silver. But I think it was worth it. It made a really big difference, I think. But you can decide when you watch the video, which won't be for a few weeks, I don't think. My other thing I'm going to do is to grab a green, and I'm going to go over the veins on the holly with this. You might decide that this is a bit clumsy and you don't want this, but I think it's just a nice bit of shine to add. And those as well. There we go. I think that I am done now. Yeah, I'm not sure about the colour of that custard, in the sense that it still feels a bit like it should be white, but I think it would go as a cake, you know, a chocolate chip sponge with chocolate cream and custard. I think that would just about work, wouldn't it? I think so. It might work better with a cherry topping, like a Black Forest Gatto. But anyway, it's done now. I'm sure you can all have a slice and let me know what it's like. Anyway, thank you for watching today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Please do like, comment and subscribe to the channel. It's very much appreciated. And thank you for watching, and happy colouring.